Live from the storied Old Garden in Boston, Paramount 20 continues on the road with the undefeated Houston Rockets. Tonight, the world champions make their final appearance in this building, taking on the Boston Celtics. Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Worrell. Good to have you with us tonight here in Boston Garden as the Houston Rockets try to remain undefeated on this young season, winning their 5th game in a row. And this will be quite an event for Houston, the final game in this building against Boston. They are building a brand new arena next door, and this 66-year-old building will come to an end this year, the final throwback to the old era in the NBA. Check out the roof. 16 World Championship banners hang from the roof, and if you look very closely at the Boston rim, you might notice the little leprechaun that's been sitting there for 49 years, swatting away the opponent's shot. But Calvin Murphy, you grew up in this part of the country, and you've seen some great players and some great games in this building. The one thing I love about it, there's no heating and there's no air conditioning. So tonight it's about 50 degrees in here. We're freezing to death, and then when you get into the playoffs in June, it's usually about 100 degrees
105,
in here.
yeah.
But it's really something, isn't it?
This is true. I did grow up in this area, just about 2 hours down the road, and as a high school player, I had an opportunity to come in here, play on this parquet floor, and I tell you, it was almost like you did play against the ghost of the great players of the past.
Well, the great players won those banners. They're not here anymore. Bird, McHale, Parrish, they're gone. And Boston is rebuilding with a 34-year-old Neek, they used to call him, but I understand the new nickname is Antique. But he can still get up and go down the court, and we're talking about Dominique Wilkins.
Oh, Bill, that's unfair. When you talk about Dominique Wilkins, you're talking about a quality player. Regardless of what his age is, he can still play basketball. You can believe that the Boston Celtics would not have brought him in here to give them the scoring boost that they need.
A.C. Earl will be opening at center, but you'll get a chance to look at their #1 draft choice, Eric Montross. The problem is the youngster from North Carolina will have to go up against the best in the business, Hakeem Olajuwon.
I don't wish that on anybody, and what Montross has got to understand is that when he plays against Olajuwon, he's just out there to learn. There's no way you can stop an individual that is playing at the top of his game so early in the season.
Really, the only elite player on this Boston team anymore is now at point guard, and that's Dee Brown. He was the 2 guard, but Sherman Douglas is on the injured list. They moved him over to point. Dee Brown tries to get the transition game going, but Kenny Smith will have to start on him tonight and try to slow him down a little bit.
Well, this is true, but anytime you deal with any type of a guard, you don't want him to penetrate. Now, Dee Brown likes playing 2 guard, but he's quick enough to play the point. Kenny's got to keep him on the outside, not allow him to get inside the defense and hurt his teammates.
You know, this is a different Boston team. It's the first time I've been in here in a long time that Houston has been favored. The Rockets have only won 5 games in the last 41 played in this building.
But the Rockets have got to understand, regardless of who's favored, who's the underdog, you've got to come out and play basketball. These Boston Celtics have a lot of pride, and it's very difficult for anybody to win in here, regardless of what their record is.
All right, it's time now for Murphy's Law, brought to you by your Southwestern Bell Yellow Pages.
Well, it's about legs, arms, and then the shot. I'm talking about the basics of shooting the foul shot. And this is one thing the Rockets have got to concentrate on, to shoot that foul shot just a little better. And it's got to be bench play tonight. The Rockets have been on a long road trip. They're going to need help from everybody, especially Ellie, Mario, Herrera, and Sam Cassell. And then it's consistency. Everybody must come out and play well tonight. It's going to be difficult because the legs have got to be tired.
Well, you remember that 15-game winning streak to start last season? The Rockets are trying to get another one going as they go for number 5 in a row tonight. We'll be back with the tip-off in just a moment. Houston Rockets basketball on Paramount 20 is sponsored by Beechwood Aged Budweiser. It's always been true. This Bud's for you. By Southwest Airlines, flying the low-fare airline is just plain smart. By Builders Square, we'll get you squared away. By AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. By Jack in the Box restaurants, there's always something new. And by the Houston Post, because every city deserves one great newspaper.
We expect Kenny Smith, the backcourt's the same. Kenny, second game back since missing some time because of the flu, and then the other guard, Vernon Maxwell, had 8 points against the Pacers, but did a great job on Reggie Miller, holding him way below 50% shooting. Starting center, Hakeem Olajuwon with the 43-point effort against the Pacers, second best scoring total so far this year in the NBA. Shaq had 46 the other night. As starting small forward, his job to guard Dominique Wilkins. Tonight it's Robert Horry, maybe concentrating on the defense more than the offense. And then the starting power forward, Otis Thorpe, will go up against Dino Raja. Otis averaging almost 10 rebounds per game. And boy, does Rudy like November. His club has won 18 consecutive games in the month of November. Overall, 24-5 in his tenure in this month. The Rockets haven't had a losing November in more than 11 years. For the Celtics, starting out at the point, Sherman Douglas is hurt, out 4 to 8 weeks. Moved D. Brown over to the point guard, had 28 points in their last game. Blue Edwards will start at the 2 spot, acquired from the Bucks for Ed Pinckney. He'll play small guard, or shooting guard. At the center, A.C. Earl, second-year pro, hasn't done much so far. In fact, only 2 points per game in the Celtics' first 2 games. Could be another version of Rick Smits tonight. Dominique Wilkins, 25 points in 42 minutes the other night, one of the co-captains of this club along with D. Brown. And then the starting power forward, Dino Raja, just signed a contract extension yesterday. He's going to be their go-to guy when it's not Dominique getting the baskets. And of course, the Celtics coached again by Chris Ford, starting their last year in the Garden. They are 0-2. Haven't done that very often, only been 0-3 2 other times in Celtic history. Chris Ford would like to avoid that.
Hi again, everybody, and welcome back to the Garden in Boston. As you see, the 16 championship banners hanging from the rafters, and in this storied old building that was built back in 1929. And they're building a brand new building, the Shawmut Center, that is right next door, and they will tear this building down come September. Rudy Tomjanovich played a lot of games in this building. The Boston Celtics hold an 88-29 all-time record against the Rockets. And at the Boston Garden, the Celtics carry a 36-5 advantage over Houston. So Rudy has been involved on the losing end of a lot of those games. Chris Ford, on the other hand, has been a player and now the head coach of the Boston Celtics. And ironically, it was Chris who hit the first three-point shot against Houston. They put that in 1979, and Chris fired the first one up behind the three-point line, and it went in. There he is, Dominique Wilkins. When you're starting a rebuilding program, it's kind of odd that you go out and get a 34-year-old player. He has been a great one, no doubt about it. And he'll probably be one of the top 3 scorers in the NBA again this season. But Dominique Wilkins is there with a new 3-year contract. And he's leading the way for this young Celtics team here. A.C. Earl will be jumping center with Hakeem Olajuwon. And Hakeem having an excellent start to this season, coming off an MVP campaign. The officials tonight, Jack Neese, Ed Middleton, and Hank Armstrong. A.C. Earl misses the layup. Oh, he had a point-blank layup. It was a nice play set up by Boston. Kenny Smith goes the other way, throws it out of bounds, deflected by D. Brown.
Bill, it's amazing how Olajuwon, regardless of where he is, gets everybody to rush their shot.
Yeah, he was somewhere in the vicinity, but not close enough to block it. A.C. Earl just did not have a good enough focus. Now there's Earl behind Olajuwon, jump hook, and it's off the rim. There's that leprechaun again.
Well, I tell you what, he better be in full force because Olajuwon's playing good basketball.
Dino Raja, now he presents more problems than your normal power forward in that he can shoot from the outside.
And he will play an outside game, drawing you away from the basket, and he's a pretty good passer for a big forward also.
Vernon Maxwell coming off a pick. Olajuwon feeling a little body, puts it up, and again just off the rim. So Hakeem a little off on his first 2 shots. Raja quickly misses, and Olajuwon gives it up to Vernon. Otis is down. So is Robert Horry. Max takes it to the middle, pulls up, fires 2.
All right, he avoided the leprechaun that time, didn't he? Now, all the Rockets have got to do, as long as they get themselves some good shots, if they relax, they're going to hit the bulk of them.
Dominique will shoot it from anywhere, and he missed, averaging about 25 a game. Up ahead to Vernon on that good speed, and Vernon just overshot the ball. Robert Horry back the other way, and he missed. It's cold in this building. It may take them a while to warm up.
And they've been gone a long time, too, Bill.
A.C. Earl.
Oh, A.C. just gave Olajuwon a little bit of what most people see out of Olajuwon. He turned baseline, hit a nice little jump shot.
A.C. Earl, #1 draft choice a couple of seasons ago out of Iowa. That's Blue Edwards guarding Maxwell. You remember him from his Utah days. There's a steal by Dino Raja. Got inside position. He's running the court nicely. Blue Edwards looking down to Raja. They'll go the other way. Dino from 14. Kenny Smith with the ball. And he's got taken it to the hole for 2. He had Maxwell on the wing, but then it opened up for him. Game is tied at 4.
Now, what the Celtics have on the floor when you don't have Sherman Douglas running that break for them, they're a much slower team. And the Rockets can beat them down the floor if they just look for that opportunity.
Robert Horry with a steal. He's got Kenny Smith streaking the other way. And he goes up the escalator for 2. And the Rockets take the lead 6-4. It's 4 points now for Kenny.
The Rockets definitely want to use speed against his team.
Dominique popping out from behind the pick. Did Robert get a piece of
Yes,
that?
he did. It was a nice block by Robert.
Kenny Smith's going to reward him with a pass, but Robert took his eye off the ball.
Yeah, Robert was intending on giving that back to Kenny. Now, Kenny does a nice job by getting down, and what he does, he gets inside the defense. He makes the defense have to react to if he's going to give the ball up or not, and that was a correct decision to go in and lay it up.
Dino Raja squares up on Otis Thorpe. Can't give him too much ground. This time he misses the jumper.
It makes a difference on your shot.
Oh, nice pass by Vernon, and Olajuwon
that's nice.
slams it home. I don't think that anybody on that Boston team can run the court with Akeem.
Well, I think Mr. Earl's already tired. He's up and down the floor 3 or 4 times. He's already breathing hard.
Big lumbering center. D. Brown puts it up for 2. I'll tell you what, he'll live around that rim. D. Brown, he's got maybe as good of jumping ability as anybody in the NBA. Otis Thorpe wheels inside, back the other way, uses the glass for 2.
They call offensive.
And an offensive foul on Otis.
Here's anytime that you can get the great defensive intensity going early, you're going to give yourself an opportunity to get your guards out, get them some easy baskets. Now, Vernon just gives that ball up ahead, and there's Olajuwon outrunning their big center, Mr. Earl, as he comes down lumbering, trying to get past him.
Well, Blue Edwards tried a quick shot, knowing Olajuwon might be down behind him, and he missed everything. 3 for 10 shooting now for Boston. The Rockets 4 of 8. Akeem going to the left side, lays it up for 2, and he's fouled. What a move by Akeem, and did you watch him corkscrew the ball with his wrist and drop it right down the cylinder?
He wasn't sure if he should just casually lay it in or simply dunk the ball, but you know, he's such a nice guy. He decided instead of hurting the man's feelings, he corkscrewed it in.
There is no way A.C. Earl can guard Akeem one-on-one. He's going to have help.
He's too slow laterally. See, that's where defensive players that are going to guard Olajuwon, they've got to be very quick laterally in order to cut those angles off, not to let him get to the basket. And the more he plays, the better ball handler he becomes, Bill.
That's 5 points for Akeem. Largest lead now early in the game for Houston. 7:40 left to play in the first period. Oh, Vernon saw it coming all the way. Takes it up the escalator for 2 more. And the Rockets now are on a nice run. They have run off 7 points in a row. Timeout Boston. It's Houston 13, the Celtics 6. Here's a word from Southwest Airlines. Operators a call and get your tickets for any games you want to see on the schedule this year. D. Brown with a 3. The Rockets have done a great job in the transition game, and there's a foul on Vernon Maxwell. Houston has 8 transitions, Calvin, for 10 points. Boston 3 for 2. That 8-point difference is the difference in the game.
Well, you're talking about transition defense, and the Rockets are doing a nice job because they're not turning the ball over a good deal, and they're able to get back and face this Celtics 5-on-5.
Blue Edwards with a 3. He misses. Ball tipped out of bounds by Houston. So another chance. for the Celtics.
You know, this is the quietest I've ever heard the Boston Garden.
Well, there's not a lot of reason for excitement. They had those great teams for so many years. These people were absolutely spoiled. They did not go to the playoffs last year, and there's 3 seconds called on A.C. Earl. They did not go to the playoffs last year for the first time in 15 years. And that was before Larry Bird came. And they've got quite a rebuilding project on their hands. Maxwell lost the ball out of bounds.
The Rockets need a little more spacing on their offense, Bill. Now, Vernon Maxwell tried to turn that corner, and all of a sudden there was a defender that came over to support. Now, if they spread it just a little more, it takes another step or two to come over and help, and that's not quick enough to stop Vernon from getting to the basket.
Dino Raja backs in baseline. Olajuwon slams it back, and here's Vernon. Nice play as he tipped it to himself, takes it the length of the court for the slam. Olajuwon with the block, the Rockets with the basket.
He just told Otis Thorpe to stay down, that he'll come over and support and get a chance to get to the shot. Don't get into foul trouble.
Celtics have missed their last 5 shots. Short by Raja. Here's Maxwell in the open court. Kenny Smith on the right wing. Back outside. Vernon pulls up for a 3. No, it won't go. Olajuwon gets the rebound. And it's knocked away from him, out of bounds. Boston's ball.
Let's go back, if we may, and watch Olajuwon coming over from the weak side to support. Now, as you know, most shots that are blocked are not straight on. They're from the weak side. Here comes Olajuwon. Otis Thorpe stayed at home, meaning he didn't jump, giving Olajuwon a chance to get that ball blocked and getting an opportunity basket at the other end.
Eric Montross has checked into the lineup for A.C. Earl. They'll go with the isolation. Dominique turns, fires short. Kenny Smith in the open court. He's got Maxwell already down. Robert Horry on the right wing. Kenny was left wide open, and he bombs it home for 2. He was standing on the 3-point line.
And I like what Robert Horry did, too. As Kenny went up for the shot, Robert Horry kept working to get inside position, hoping to get an offensive rebound if missed.
Horry goes for the steal. Dominique lost the ball. Rockets now on a 9-0 run. Boston has missed its last 7 shots. 3 seconds on Eric Montross.
I tell you, Olajuwon did a nice job getting inside to get that steal before the call was made. Now, Montross going to have to understand about Olajuwon. You got to keep a hand on him and know where he is at all times, or he's going to come up with those steals. And then offensively, if you got to guard him and he feels you, he's going to roll off and score.
Eric with a great college career at North Carolina, but now trying to guard Olajuwon is just a bit too much. That's 11 points in a row by Houston, and again, Chris Ford has to call another timeout with 5 minutes left to play in the first period, and the Rockets are off to the races. Rockets are 9 of 14 for 64%. Boston shooting only 20%. And the Rockets currently on an 11-0 run. And now, finally, Dino Raja is able to get a basket. Well, he just signed a new contract extension. Makes him a wealthy young man.
And he's not a bad ball player either.
No, Dino's a pretty good player. There's a pass by Robert Horry. Olajuwon goes and gets it.
And he just double dribbled and didn't get called for it.
I know it. Nice move. You can get away with it. He goes baseline on Montrose, turns the other way, back outside. Robert Horry puts up a 3.
Now, see, there's the difference in Olajuwon's game. He got caught underneath. He knew where his players were, his teammates were. He was able to find an outlet pass to Robert Horry, was able to capitalize and score.
And this is a very well-schooled crowd. They understand passing. There's Robert with a steal. Vernon right up the middle, back to Horry again, and Horry slams it home. Oh, boy. Rockets basketball at its best, and Houston pouring it on 24-8. Dominique goes with a reversal for 2.
Yeah, well, when you got to start making those kind of shots to score, it's going to be a long night for you. That's a good individual move, but you can't beat anybody constantly having to make those type shots.
Hakeem with his baseline favorite. Olajuwon with 9 points. 26-10, Houston leading. The Rockets have made their last 5 shots. Dino Raja backing in for 2.
Now, Raj is doing a nice job getting himself close enough to the basket to shoot up over Otis Thorpe. Now, Otis is going to have to put a little more pressure on him to push him out maybe a step or two so he doesn't get such a good look at the basket.
There's a pass inside for the slam. Robert Horry to Olajuwon, and they just made eye contact, didn't they? Oh, is that pretty?
Boy, I wouldn't mind paying for the ticket to see that one.
Oh, let's see that again. Paul Bykowski cranked that one up down in the truck.
A couple of times.
There's Dominique on the miss, and Robert Horry cleans the glass. Well, the Boston fans here they're so used to watching their team do this to other people. There's Otis, and he missed it. Rolled across the iron. And they had Bird, McHale, Parrish, DJ. D. Brown from the outside, and he followed it up. Lou Edwards from the perimeter. He misses. That's the only shots they're getting. They cannot take the ball inside. 28-12, Houston leads.
And when they do, guess who they meet up with?
That's right, number 34. 2 minutes left to play, first quarter. Rockets have done a good job on this road trip, having good first quarters. Olajuwon again from the outside as he pulled it out. Montrose saying, what's going on here? 13 points for the Dream.
Olajuwon's going to make somebody fight him. See, this is getting ugly.
Largest lead for Houston. Well, if this was a fight, they'd stop it. Montrose outside picked up, 8 on the shot clock. Dino Raja for 2. Well, Raja's it. That's 8 points for Dino. And boy, he really looks like a good player. He's had a good season last year. He was on that Croatian team with Jan Tabak. Kenny Smith lost the ball. Wilkins takes it in on Robert Horry. That's the first time in this game Boston has put back-to-back baskets. And a timeout taken by Houston with 1 minute left to play in the quarter. The Rockets are up by 14. And a 20-second timeout now taken as Rudy wants to change it. Well, Olajuwon breathing a little bit. This has been a long road trip, the longest road trip of the season we're in. Now watch the eye contact between Horry and Olajuwon.
Now Robert's in the position right now that he's giving Olajuwon the signal. I'm taking it up to the basket. And now
that was a pretty pass too.
Yeah, the mistake that defenses will make if you turn your back to see where Olajuwon is and lose sight of the basketball, that's going to happen to you every time because they'll just put it up by the rim. Let's take another look at the entry pass. Now, anytime that you can get yourself where the man passing the ball is not closely guarded, that's like a quarterback sitting in the pocket being able to throw the ball.
Calvin, I watched the Orlando-New York game last night, and they were having trouble with entry passes. It's not that easy. You've got to have a man like an Olajuwon who can establish good position, and the Rockets do a good job of getting him the ball in good places on the court.
Well, that's true, but anytime you want to stop an entry pass, you got to smother the passer. You cannot allow him to stand back there and quarterback and have time to place it up there where they can go get it.
Rockets working the clock down so they can get 2 for 1. Maxwell turns the corner, lays it up, missed it. Tipped up by Carl Herrera. Horry back outside to Maxwell. He missed it again, and D. Brown goes high for the rebound. Down the court to Dominique. Lost it momentarily. Pass to Raja in crowd. Rick Fox puts it up for 2 and he's fouled.
Now, this is what you don't want to happen. You have everything going your way, then you make a couple of turnovers, and then you take a quick shot. You don't score. It gives them an opportunity to run. They come down, make a basket, you foul. Now you're talking about, even though you're ahead, you're talking about momentum. The momentum swing. There's only 28 seconds left in this first quarter, Bill, if I'm not mistaken here. And you don't want a team to come down and be able to get a couple of quick baskets going into timeout.
Boston did rally back a little bit to make it closer. It's 30-18. Rockets will have the final shot. Sam Cassell in the game now. He'll be matched up with Brown. Fox is guarding Maxwell. Maxwell should have a big quickness advantage there. Here's Sam right off the bench with a shot. He missed it. Montrose with a loose ball foul. Montross just leaned on Thorpe.
Looks like a big Dave Cowens.
Yes, he did.
And Dave Cowens was some type of a ball player. Boy, you talk about aggressive, he would do whatever necessary to keep you from getting that basketball around that backboard.
8 seconds left. A 6'8" center. Sam Cassell turns the corner, back outside. Vernon with 2 seconds left to play in the quarter. And that's the end of the first quarter. That's 9 points now for Vernon Maxwell and the Houston Rockets with another good first period here on this road trip. Houston 33, Boston 18. Here are the first quarter stats sponsored by AutoZone. Houston 63%, 38% for Boston. And the rebounding about equal. Keem with 13 to lead Houston. And Dino Raja has 8 for Boston. Maxwell floating across the lane, misses, and Raja tips it outside. Here's Rick Fox.
Yeah, he had an easier shot than what he had anticipated.
Now there's good transition defense by Houston.
Yeah, getting back, making sure that all five players get back at one time.
Raja gets a double team down to Rick Fox, puts it up, missed it, tipped outside to Mario Ellie, who's in the game now.
And if you look at the combination on the floor, Bill, without Olajuwon in there, you better get good transition defense, because the first thing they're going to do is attack the basket.
Illegal defense called on Boston. That's the first illegal D tonight. You know, we went a whole quarter without an illegal defense. How about that?
I didn't even notice that, Bill.
And
I'm so used to and accustomed to it being called that I automatically think some had been called.
And we went a whole quarter without a touching foul. All right, Sam Cassell is in the game in the backcourt along with Mario Ellie, or with Maxwell. Mario's at small forward. Vernon around the corner, puts it in heavy traffic and travel.
It's heavy traffic because, as I said earlier, they've got to open the floor just a little more, take 2 or 3 more steps to the sideline. That gives you more penetrating room.
Vernon off to a pretty good start shooting. He's shooting 46% from the field in the first 4 games.
You know, if I'm playing against D. Brown.
Here's Maxwell going back, almost got the steal. Fox falls down. He's in trouble, and he's tied up by Vernon.
Here's my thought, Bill. I was going to say a minute ago before the Rockets started playing that good defense again. If I'm playing against D. Brown is playing 40 minutes a game now. This kind of effort that you got to have by the Rockets, you got to keep putting pressure on that ball, but you don't want to foul. You just want to put pressure on it. But D. Brown is playing 44 minutes a game, Bill. So that means that they're dependent on him a great deal, and now you got to attack him. You've got to make him play defense as much as possible to get him winded.
Rick Fox is 6'7", Vernon 6'4", and Sam's going to steal the ball. Sam Cassell going to take it up on D. Brown for 2. Boy, what a job by Sam. D. Brown supposedly quicker and a better leaper than Sam, but Sam can get it done.
And never stop chewing that gum. Nope. The more you chew that gum, the faster he becomes.
35-18, Houston leading it. Raja into Fox, back outside, the X-Man. Xavier McDaniel had just checked into the game, missed badly. Otis Thorpe with a rebound. Boy, McDaniel almost threw up an air ball. Mario Ellie drives baseline. He's fouled by the X-Man. All right, Xavier troubled a little bit by a bad left hamstring, and Ellie went right by him.
Well, here's another telling tale on the defensive end for the Celtics. They're very slow on the defensive footwork. Now, you go back to Mario Ellie and see if you can give him an opportunity to go one-on-one. And there it is, right there.
This time he's got the Neek on him.
That's all right. They're still slow laterally.
Little fade away by Ellie. It's tipped right back out. Mario will get a 3 this time, and he missed. D. Brown with a rebound.
Well, I call that one right. They went to him for the one-on-one. Now he's got to have a finish to his game, which normally he does.
Nice pass to Wilkins by the X-Man.
Now here's where Sam Cassell can create a problem. If he gets caught underneath that basket with a forward cutting through, and he doesn't steal the ball, he gets in the way of a teammate guarding a bigger man.
Nice pass inside by Sam Cassell, and 3 seconds called on Houston.
Now the only only thing that can hurt the Rockets to this point is turnovers. They have a lot of turnovers and give the Celtics a chance to get some easy baskets. Then the Rockets put themselves in trouble, regardless of the fact that right now they're leading by 15 points, 35-20. They want to keep being able to score on every possession.
David Wesley from Baylor in the game. Wilkins puts up the jumper for 2. And that's 8 points for Dominique. 35-22, Houston leading it. Pass inside to Olajuwon, who just checked in. Now, Raja tried to front Akeem, and I don't think you can do that.
Well, you got to take a lesson of two evils. I mean, what do? You can't play behind him that far down.
I think you can front him if you're a little taller. There's D. Brown missing. Long rebound. Maxwell on the run. He goes right by Wesley. Vernon tried to pass it to Cassell, but D. Brown got the position. D. Brown. Dino Raja with the left hand. That was a smart move by Dino. He switched hands and put it up opposite, kept it away from Akeem.
I tell you, D. Brown did a nice job in transition defense. He was way out of the play, but there's that speed you had talked about.
There's Olajuwon. This time he played behind him, and Akeem missed the jumper. Wesley to Dominique for a 3. Short. Good rebound by the X-Man, Xavier McDaniel. He's fouled.
Well, here's that entry pass that's so hard to stop on Olajuwon. You try to front him, he holds you off, he's strong enough to hold you off. The weak side was totally taken out of the picture. Robert Horry vacated the area, taking Dominique Wilkins, who's guarding him, with him, and that is impossible to stop.
All right, Montross is back into the game now. Raja will sit down for a while. David Wesley, the youngster, played with New Jersey last year, is fouled by Sam Cassell. Wesley had a pretty good finish to the season with the Nets, picked up by Boston.
Little strong little fella.
Yep. 37-24, Rockets lead, 8:13 left second quarter.
Now the Rockets have got to have a killer instinct. They've done a nice job so far building up a big lead. They cannot have a letdown.
Dominique dribbled it off his foot. Robert Horry's on him now. It'll be Cassell, Mario Ellie, Herrera, Olajuwon, and Horry. Cassell, nice pass. Carl Herrera takes it in, has it knocked away. Dominique. Montross. Air ball. Tried to shoot it over Akeem and didn't get anything. And a foul is called on Mario Ellie.
Foul is on number 17, Mario Ellie. His first personal foul.
Olajuwon right now, the Rockets have has come to a little standstill scoring-wise. They've got to get more people involved this second quarter.
First foul on Mario, third team foul on Houston, and an offensive foul is called on David Wesley.
Offensive foul on the Celtics, number 4, David Wesley. His first personal foul.
And Dominique will go to the bench. Dominique with 8 points. He's replaced by Derek Strong. Sam Cassell, a little fake, nothing there. Spins to the middle again. Tough shot by Sam, and it won't go, but he's fouled by Wesley, and Sam will shoot 2. That whistle kind of bailed him out.
Yeah, Sam was dribbling just a little too much, Bill. Once again, anytime that you put the ball on the floor, the Celtics immediately go right to that green area, the key area right there. You saw Xavier come over to help. You want to try to get inside the defense with the way they're playing on the pass opposed to the dribble.
This is only the second free throw of the game so far. What a different game than we had in Indianapolis, huh?
What happened in Indianapolis, Bill?
Did you give that umbrella back?
Are you kidding me? That was brand new.
It wasn't when the ice got through with it. That umbrella had some holes in it when we gave it back.
Boy, I tell you, I thought I saw it all being involved in the NBA, but that was a unique situation.
You know what the referees told us? It reminded them of Puerto Rico. And they throw ice and batteries and
radios and
pennies and radios, yeah. Some small children, yes. D. Brown lost the ball, and here's Sam Cassell in transition. He's got to beat the X-Man, Xavier McDaniel, and he does. That's 6 points for Sam. 41-24 Houston. Missed by Wesley. Herrera clears. Hakeem spins inside around Montrose, and Montrose is missing his shoes. He left them somewhere on the other side of the lane when Olajuwon went by him. We've got a timeout on the court. 6:46 left to play, second quarter, and it's all Houston. Here's a word from Southwest Airlines.
He was playing the world champions.
They are fun to watch.
Oh, my goodness. I've been involved with the Rockets a lot of years, and I can't wait, Bill, to get to the game to watch it. Not just to broadcast it, but to be a part of it.
And also, Murph, we've got to wish a happy birthday to a good buddy of ours tonight. Mike Dunlop, the general manager of Paramount 20, is celebrating a birthday tonight. And Paul Bykowski said it was your 39th. And 29th, I mean, and Murphy said, well, is that 29 times he celebrated it since he was 39?
Mike, don't believe him. I wasn't involved in that one.
Congratulations, Mike. Have a good birthday. Play a little golf tomorrow. There's a steal by Robert Horry. Mario Elie to Horry, back to Cassell, back to Horry, and he lays it up for two.
Boy, did you see how they passed that ball around with the hot potato effect?
Oh, baby.
After Robert Horry did a nice job anticipating that play coming in from the weak side, was able to steal it.
You know, if you allowed yourself to dream, you might have seen green uniforms rather than red ones, because that looked like the old Celtic fast break.
Yeah, it sure did. Matter of fact, playing the way the Rockets are playing right now, I've been on the other end of that type of play.
Let's watch this again.
The fast break started from Robert Horry's good defense, and all they're doing now, there's 5 passes that came from half court, and Robert was able to come in and get an easy layup, but there was 2 other shots that could have gone in for layups also with Sam as well as Mario Elie.
D. Brown gets a free throw. He was fouled by Elie on the play. D, a youngster out of Jacksonville, and won the slam dunk competition at the All-Star game one year, you'll remember, when he went in with that, put his arm over his eyes and sailed high.
You know, he's been in the league 5 years already.
Yeah, this is the 5th year.
Boy, I tell you how time flies.
Well, unfortunately, if the tragic death of Reggie Lewis, they'd have had a heck of a backcourt here.
That's right, I forgot all about that.
And traveling is called on Hakeem.
Hakeem got a midget on him. And once they got him the ball, now everybody bailed out to come over and surround Olajuwon to give D. Brown some help, and Olajuwon got caught for moving that pivot foot.
Taking it in to Derek Strong, working in on Olajuwon, and he put it up and drew the foul. And Hakeem is called for his first personal foul.
Apparently, Mr. Strong has no fear of who was guarding him.
Well, he does live up to his name in one respect. He is a very strong young man. He's a 3-year veteran out of Xavier. And he was traded by Milwaukee with Blue Edwards in that deal for Ed Pinckney in June of the last season. He's played with the Clippers a little bit in their summer camp. He's been around.
So he's been here a couple of days.
Drafted by Philadelphia in 1990. Takes it into Olajuwon, spinning inside, short. David Wesley, and Robert Horry may have blocked that.
Yes, he did. Another nice transition job by Robert getting back and supporting the teammates.
5:08 left to play in the first half. Double team on Hakeem. Nice pass to Robert, and it's knocked away. Dino Raja in the open court. Raja missed the layup. Tipped up and in by Xavier McDaniel. 44-29.
You know, regardless of what the game direction is right now, and they're 0-2, this team still fights you, Bill.
Well, they got a lot of pride and tradition here in Boston. But unfortunately, that looked like an illegal D for a minute. You had to go get the ball. Passing it outside to Herrera, back inside. Robert Horry, little turnaround, rimmed it out, won't go. And Derek Strong comes away with the ball. Dino Raja. The two.
Well, you're going to see
Now
a
Houston.
timeout in a minute, so the Rockets have got to get their momentum back.
Yeah, their transition defense has gotten lazy. Rudy wants to talk about that. Boston right now is on a 7-0 run. 4:10 left in the half, and it's Houston now by 13. Here tonight's league leaders, sponsored by your Houston area Ford dealers. The highest scoring average for active players. Dominique is #1, over 26 points a game. Then it's Karl Malone right at 26. Patrick Ewing, Hakeem Olajuwon, and Charles Barkley. Right now, Jimmy Jackson of Dallas leading the league with 37 points a game, and then Shaquille O'Neal with 36 points. Olajuwon #4 in scoring at 26 points a game.
Did I hear you say Jimmy Jackson from Dallas?
Yes, he's had a couple of games. He's only played 2 games, but he's averaging 37 a pop. And Clyde Drexler, after 3 games, is averaging 26.7. And Olajuwon misses.
Now, that's good defense on the part of Strong. He just went up. He didn't try to block Olajuwon's shot at all.
He's done the best job on Hakeem of anybody. There's a miss. Xavier with a rebound, tried to muscle his way up. Strong gets it back. I'll tell you, Derek Strong may be only 6'8", but he's playing big here tonight.
Look at those arms, Bill. He has a pair of arms on him.
He's done the most effective job. Vernon Maxwell with a 3-pointer.
That's how you quiet down the defense. But the Rockets have done a nice job just moving that ball around. But they want to go back inside, not necessarily to take the inside shot, but just to get the defense falling back in, then kick it back to the perimeter, getting yourself a closer and an easier shot.
Boston really scrambling on defense, trying a lot of different things. Here's Raja with a double team. Horry a little late to get over to Wesley. Wesley into the corner. The X-Man's open for a moment. That was a good job of swinging the ball by Boston. Pressure by the Celtics. Vernon is open again. And Sam will set up the offense for Houston. And that usually means give him one quick look, Olajuwon. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Vernon puts it up and with a miss. Sam gets it back. Sam goes opposite for 2, and he's fouled by Dino Raja.
Oh, boy, that's a smart play. Sam could have used that left hand to go up on the opposite side of the board, but he elected to take the ball. Now, let's take a look at it, and that'll explain it a little better there. The ball hits the floor. Sam picks it up. Now, as he picks it up, he has a clear path to this side of the basket, but he jumps back into Dino to get himself a 3-point opportunity. Not bad, Samuel.
He puts it up with the left hand. He eats it.
I don't know. His body could have protected it. He just felt like messing with the big guys, I think.
That's 8 points for Sam Cassell. He'll try to make it 9 here. And he can't convert.
Boy, have the Rockets had their problems on that foul line on this trip, Bill.
They really have, and I think it's concerning, Rudy, because when you get to start playing the good teams, you're going to have to make them. The Rockets are only 72% as a team, and that's not very good. You need to be in the upper 70s to be an elite team. Raja picks out the X-Man. Horry gets over in a hurry, rushes him into Olajuwon for the block. Quickly out on the release to Maxwell. Vernon has it blocked by D. Brown, out of bounds. Good job of hustling back by D. Brown.
I tell you, David Wesley did a nice job. He's the one that got his hands on that ball. Let's take a look at it now. Everything was started by that block shot. Now, as Vernon goes to the basket, here comes David Wesley in there to get the ball. But now he had a little piece of his wrist, but we won't discuss that.
Robert Horry uses the glass on the bank shot. Nice shot by Robert. He has 9 points. Make it 7. 51-35, Houston. Raja puts it up. Olajuwon made him change it. Just the presence of Hakeem will alter about 7 to 8 shots a game. And then with the other 6 or 7 blocks he gets, that's a lot of baskets. Sam got it a little closer, rimmed it out. Good offensive rebound by Otis Thorpe, and Dino Raja with a loose ball foul.
Now, what has happened is they're putting so much attention on Olajuwon down there. This is where Otis Thorpe can really become the man on the floor. He can come from the opposite side, get all kind of inside positioning, and work around that basket, because Olajuwon the last 4 or 5 times down, the ball's gone to him, and their defense has changed where everybody's running, not just the man on the same side from the top, but they're just abandoning their position and running at Olajuwon.
Otis having a good start to the season, except from the free throw line, averaging 14 points and 9 rebounds a game. But he just really has struggled from the line. Otis now shooting 45% from the line. He's only 7 of 17. Boy, you know, if he goes to the line a lot of times this year, he's going to have to shoot better than that. Almost a steal. D. Brown takes it in, missed it. Tipped outside by Akeem, saved by Maxwell. Cassell to Thorpe, back to Sam again. Lays it up, he's fouled. He'll shoot 2.
So you don't see a prettier fast break until after Olajuwon blocks a shot. Now, the thing that we talked about so much about Olajuwon's block shots is the fact that he keeps the ball in play. Now, right here, here's another intimidation. All right, he never even jumped, but D. Brown
thought he was.
Yeah, thought he was. He twisted his body around and off to the races.
Sam in his second season, of course, averaging 11.5 points and 6 assists in the first 4 games. Had a good preseason. He was the second leading scorer for the Rockets in the preseason. And he has kept it going, and now he has 10 points off the bench. 53-35, Rockets with the 18-point lead. Almost a steal by Vernon. Look at the swarming Rockets defense. Raja just taller than Sam Cassell.
See, you don't worry about a team scoring on you when you play that type of a defense.
It's 14 points for Dino Raja. Robert Horry puts up a 3, and it is cleared out by Boston. X-Man, turnaround.
Tell you, this David Wesley as a guard is not a bad little guard.
No.
He does the same things that Sherman Douglas can do, except that he's a little quicker than Sherman.
All right, 10 seconds left in the half. Double team on Sam. Passes inside. Olajuwon passes down to Otis. Waits his turn. 3 seconds called on Houston. 1.7 seconds left. Strong trying to bring it in, and he threw it away. Now the Rockets will get it down at their end of the court with 1.7 left. And the Rockets will have the final shot. Actually, if you're Boston, you were hoping somebody would touch it.
Sure.
Yeah, but now the Rockets will have enough time with 1.7 to catch it and shoot it. Who takes it here, Calvin?
Whoever gets their hand on the ball first. That's the only thing you can do with 1 point.
There it is. Olajuwon falling out of bounds, and it almost went in. Otis got the rebound, but it was too late. That's the end of the first half of play. Rudy T checking out that scoreboard. Olajuwon having a good first half with 16 points. Maxwell has 12, and Sam Cassell with 10. Rockets 53, the Celtics 39. Let's go back to Houston. Here's Bruce.
Thank you, Bill and Calvin. So the Rockets up by 15 at the end of the first quarter. They have the 14-point edge at the half, 53-39. Seemed like they lost some momentum, some of that edge, but the scoreboard doesn't show much of a loss there. Rockets for the 5th straight game with the big lead at the end of 1 quarter, and they take the lead into the locker room. And coming up on Game Break, we'll visit with our special guest in the studio, former Rocket Mike Woodson. Also take a look at the rest of the NBA, some first-half highlights, and we'll talk with some of the guys around the league about those new rules changes. Boy, we saw the effect of them the other night in Indiana. What some of the other players think. We'll be right back with Game Break.
Yeah, the Rockets got themselves into a little lull where they had some turnovers. They allowed the Celtics to get a few offensive rebounds and just out-hustle them for a few moments that allowed the Celtics to get their confidence up somewhat.
Hakeem with 16 points and 9 rebounds leads Houston. What's new?
Yeah, but they got to give Olajuwon a little more help, especially coming off that bench. We talked about consistency. The bench play, the two of those are going to be important to give him a few minutes.
Vernon Maxwell with 12 points and 4 assists and 4 rebounds.
Well, you know, Max is just out there doing whatever he has to do to fit in. He's been tremendous on the defensive end against their guards.
And Sam Cassell coming off the bench with 10 points.
Well, Sam's come off, and he's orchestrated that fast break real well. Plus, he's allowed himself to get involved for 10 points. But he's done it in a team atmosphere, opposed to trying to get him some points one-on-one.
Well, here are your halftime stats brought to you by Sam Houston Raceway. And the Rockets, 49%. Boston, 38%. Again, very tepid free throw shooting by Houston, only 60% shooting, 60% for Boston. Houston out rebounding the Celtics, and the turnovers, Houston with 1 more turnover than the Celtics. Olajuwon with 16 points, Maxwell with 12, Sam with 10, Robert Horry with 9. Dino Raja leads the way with Boston, 14 points. Dominique has 8.
Yeah, these first 3 minutes, Bill, of this third quarter is going to be important.
That's our mistake. That was the Gulf Greyhound part. Halftime stats. Okay, here we start the third period. Wilkins out front. Dino Raja coming off a pick. And Raja has not missed very much. He has 16 points.
Yeah, he was something like 7 for 15 in the first half, but he had 15 good looks at that basket. You don't want to give him those type shots.
Otis got inside position, slams it home, and they're trying to get him involved. He had only 1 shot in the first half.
Yeah, when you get Otis involved, then they can't keep double teaming Olajuwon down low. They're going to have to stay at home, meaning they're going to have to play one-on-one, and you can't guard Otis with his strength low, and you know what the problems you're going to have if Olajuwon catches you on a one-on-one situation.
Well, Raja off the shoulder of Otis Thorpe, so it'll still belong to Boston. He has been shooting the ball so well, I think they thought he would continue to shoot it.
Well, he should. He's the only one that's really putting up some points. Now, everybody turns their head, and it goes off of Otis Thorpe's shoulder. But when you're shooting that well and your teammates are having problems, it's not selfish for you to continue to shoot it.
Well, Wilkins kind of half-heartedly threw that up. Kenny Smith in the open court. Robert Horry drops it off to Hakeem. Good quick post up, good quick climb. 18 for the Dream.
Yeah, it's good. When the Rockets play a 2-man game, even in transition, they get a lot out of it. They don't have to wait for it to be set up. And as long as they get a good shot, they need to go for it. Easy baskets. That's what basketball is all about, simplicity.
Dominique, and he offensive foul. He pushed Robert Horry right now with his offhand. Robert, with that big grin on his face. But Dominique just kind of reached out and gave him a whack.
Dominique lost control of the ball dribbling here. He can't go by Robert, so he simply says, "Get out the way." My kind of game. Let's put, you know.
That's the opposite touch foul. And impeding the progress of Robert Horry was Derek Strong, and that's the 3rd foul on young Derek. Now, they started him in the second half because he was the only effective big man in the middle for Boston in the first half. But that is his 3rd foul.
Good. Give him 1 more. This young man here is very aggressive.
Robert Horry back over the shoulder. Still 15 on the shot clock. Illegal defense on Boston. That's the 2nd on the Celtics.
That's got to be a technical, isn't that the 2nd and 3rd, Bill?
I thought it was the 2nd.
Yeah. They're going to shoot a technical. Yeah. It's good to see the Rockets make a technical foul shot.
Well, the Rockets missed 16 free throws in Indianapolis. Now, that wouldn't even have been a close game at the end. And they need just to work on that a little bit, but that's really the only part of their game that's been off here in the early going. Kenny back outside to Otis, and he'll take it to the basket. Oh, did not get the roll. Tough luck. D. Brown to Raja, blocked by Elijah Watt.
Over strong.
2-on-1 pass break the other way. Vernon puts it up, missed it, tipped up in the air, and Robert Horry comes out of there with it. Vernon back to Kenny Smith. That's who should have shot it in the first place.
Yes, that's true. But Vernon Maxwell respected the jumping ability of D. Brown and tried to go up and under on the opposite side of the board. So D. Brown did a nice job stopping that initial thrust to the basket.
That's now the largest lead of the game for Houston, 20 points. 8:58 left, third period. Dominique takes it to the middle, lost it again. Strong back to Dominique. That's 3 seconds. Dominique looks a little slower, maybe, or is it?
Now he
just can't do it one-on-one by himself?
He seems to be a little slower. I don't know if it seems like he's out of shape.
Yeah, it does to me too. Looks a little heavy. Keane goes baseline. He's fouled. He'll shoot 2.
Well, I tell you, that last block that Olajuwon had over Strong was just amazing. Now, let's take a look at it. He's being boxed down right here by Strong, and he just goes up over Strong and blocks Raja's shot. Well, he wasn't blocked out.
Well, he's number 2 behind Dikembe Mutombo. Mutombo with over 6 blocks a game. Akeem has 5. It's 19 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 blocks for the MVP. And now Derek Strong will go out, and Eric Montross will come in. At the end of every season, Akeem will be in the top 10 in at least 4 categories.
In everything. Everything.
And the top 20 in about 6. 63-41, largest lead of the game for the Rockets. D. Brown goes baseline, and he shot it over Akeem. Well, he's got a tremendous leaping ability. 6 points for D. Brown. Pressure by the Celtics. Robert Horry handling that ball down to Olajuwon. He shoots it over Montross too hard. Dominique, good job by Max of cutting him off. To Raja, misses. Tough shot by Dominique, tipped up in the air again. Here comes Max.
Well, I love it when the guards hang around those boards and help with the rebounding.
Kenny Smith leans in, back outside. Robert Horry's got a 3.
Nice shot. Very nice shot. It was all set up on patience on the part of the Rockets. Kenny Smith did a nice job repositioning himself, looking for his shot. They had to come over, kicks it over for a jump shot.
12 points for Robert Horry, largest lead of the game again for Houston, and Boston calls a timeout. The Rockets 66, the Celtics 43. Here's a word from Southwest Airlines. Houston 5 of 11 has 46% of its three-pointers. Boston 0 for 4 from behind the line. Blue Edwards, he just hasn't been able to get in the offense. He looks out of position at the 2 guard. Good pass by Kenny, and Vernon could not handle it.
That was a pinpointed pass by Vernon and by Kenny Smith, and Vernon knew it, and he was trying to get it in stride to make it a perfect play.
Yep.
He had time to put the ball on the floor for one dribble, and he lost it.
Raja goes back door, but look who's waiting for him. Akeem was, but Akeem kind of let him get that shot off.
Well, I think Dream getting a little tired. That was a normal block shot for Akeem, and I think his legs need just a little rest.
That's 18 points for Raja now, going one-on-one. Olajuwon missed it. Montrose gave him ground. That's the shot he would normally make. Dominique outside, shoots it up over Robert Horry, misses, and the rebound to Otis Thorpe.
I wonder why Dream is getting a little tired. Would you think maybe because he plays hard every second he's on the floor?
He's averaging about 46 minutes a game.
And that's 46 hard minutes a game.
Cleveland and Indianapolis. Vernon Maxwell, beautiful dribble, and he missed the shot. He couldn't finish the deal. Jump ball. Dominique and Otis.
He stepped between 2 players like going through a keyhole, and it was so easy. It just skirted off the backboard. Now let's take it back to, now Kenny Smith has his head up. He sees Vernon break ahead of the defense right here. Now he has time to put the ball on the floor one time.
Well, that
and he was trying to shoot the ball before he had it.
Pass.
Now watch this crossover dribble. Oh my goodness.
Blue Edwards is,
that's nasty.
Blue Edwards is out of position. He's a 3 and he shouldn't be at the 2 guard.
He's a 3 coming off the bench where he can play a lot of open court game.
He's kind of small.
Vernon is still wondering how he missed it.
At 6'4" to be playing power forward, but he's strong enough. There's Kenny Smith with a 3, and he missed it right to Otis Thorpe. Otis tries to lean it back, and he does. He's so strong, he just moved Raja and Montross. 68-45, Houston. Raja shoots it over Otis. On the miss, Olajuwon clears the glass.
Yeah, I've seen Fox a little more active also, Bill, in the past.
Wilkins, good job of getting back. Raja takes it in with the left hand, fouled by Hakeem. Second foul on Hakeem, and Dino Raja will go to the line. Raised in the same city as Houston's Jan Tabak, and from Split, Croatia. Second round draft choice by the Celtics in 1989, and they signed him in 93. And he has been one of the best European players to come along in a long time. And he played on that good Croatian team with Drazen Petrovic and Tabak. And here's a youngster at Chicago. Come up with his name right now, but Tony Kukoc.
Kukoc should play with him in that
pretty good team, and Raja was one of the top scorers on that team. There's Hakeem, nice pass to Otis. He lost the ball. D. Brown in heavy traffic, and Olajuwon steals it, and he's fouled on the play. Dominique Wilkins called for fouling Hakeem. He wound up to throw the pass. And that's the second foul on Dominique. 3 team fouls now on Boston.
Boy, this is just the opposite of the last couple of games the Rockets have played in.
Yep.
Very, very few whistles being blown.
I like it. And there it is. There's Fox coming out, putting a hand on Robert Horry. 14 foul on Boston. So the next foul by the Celtics, the Rockets will be in the penalty with 4:54 left to play in the third quarter.
I think the Celtics have realized that AC Earl. I've lost track of his name. AC Earl was a little too slow to be out there trying to play in a...
You and about 200,000 other people. Oh, Otis. Beautiful pass from Robert Horry, and Otis cut off that pick.
And yeah, there was a nice pick set for Otis to come off free. 6
points now. Getting Otis involved in the offense really helps Houston's offense a lot.
Well, certainly. Now they can't double team on the big boy, Olajuwon, down low.
This is again the largest lead by Houston, 70-46. And a foul on Maxwell. If I hadn't been beaten so many times by the Celtics, I would feel sorry for them, but I don't.
All right, now Olajuwon gets that ball in there to Robert Horry, and then Vernon Maxwell sets a wonderful pick to free Otis Thorpe going across on that pick and roll and gave him the ball. That's the important part of it, not just setting the pick.
You know, Raja had it blocked. I think Robert Horry blocked that. Maxwell takes it down to Otis. Otis turns, fires, missed it. Tough shot, and he had it right on, just a little long.
Yeah, but I like the fact that he's becoming aggressive offensively now.
Well, so many times they would take it into Robert Parrish on the post, and they just don't have that anymore. And there's a foul on Houston. Eric Montross will go to the line.
Montross is a big young man. Now, Anytime that you can get the player underneath the backboard, you've got to go face-to-face with him. You can't give him a seam to kick that ball out of there. And that's the one mistake that the Rockets made. They smothered him, but they didn't have their hands active, and he was able to get the ball to Montross, and Olajuwon from instinctive basketball reached out and slapped him on the wrist.
Eric was the 9th player taken in the first round out of North Carolina. There's Olajuwon to the middle to Max. Maxwell puts up a 3. Yes. 73-48 Houston as the Rockets continue to pour it on. 15 points for Vernon. Olajuwon with 20. 12 for Ori. 10 for Cassell. Dino Raja puts it up short. Olajuwon with another rebound. And Hakeem with 13 boards. Vernon with another 3. Rebound. Robert Horry comes over to get it. Steps behind the three-point line. Yes.
Target practice now, Bill. The Rockets are putting on a clinic.
If it was a fight, it ought to be stopped.
Hey, somebody throwing the towel. The Rockets are putting on a clinic, and it's the way it should be. These are the world champions out here playing, Bill, and they're going to have to start getting the respect of who they are. Every time I see a sporting magazine with somebody else on the cover other than Olajuwon, the Rockets like get ignored.
Montross slams it home. And a timeout taken by Houston. It's AC. Adrian Caldwell will check into the game for the Rockets. 2:38 left in the third period. It's the Rockets 76, the Celtics 50. Here are tonight's Points in the Paint, sponsored by Builders Square. We'll get you squared away. The Rockets in the paint outscoring Boston by 10. 4 layups and 6 dunks for Houston. The difference, Calvin, Houston 7 of 15 from behind the three-point line. Boston 0 for 4. So that's 21 points
to nothing.
Behind the three-point line for Houston, and the Rockets lead by 26. Montross misses. Adrian Caldwell is in the game for Olajuwon. Now we've got to get out of here tonight and fly to New Jersey to play the Nets tomorrow night. So Rudy trying to give Hakeem some rest and give Adrian Caldwell some minutes.
Now Adrian can't worry about foul trouble. He's got to be very aggressive. He's got to get something out of the minutes played out there.
Positioning by Vernon Maxwell. Rick Fox outside, picked up by Otis, giving him a lot of room. Double team comes over. Raja has the ball stripped away, and it's Houston's ball.
Good hands by Kenny Smith. But I like the rotation of Robert Horry. Robert Horry came over. He was going to double team down low. He saw the ball wasn't passed, so he was smart enough to run to the ball so he couldn't get caught for an illegal defense.
Right. 2 minutes left to play, third period. Otis Thorpe. Offensive foul. Otis was holding Eric Montross off with his right arm.
He uses the battering ram. Here's the battering ram by Otis Thorpe. Otis takes the ball to the basket now. He sticks that arm out there. Get out the way, big fella.
Montross says, I may have to work with those weights a little more in the offseason. Raja trying to come over, get position on Otis, lays it up to 2. That's a nice move, Dino Raja. Boy, I tell you, if they didn't have him tonight, where would they be? That's 21 points for Raja.
And you got to remember, Raja played in international basketball where there's a lot of physical play going. He liked that type of ball.
Kenny Smith just threw it up, and Montross gets it out to D. Brown. Fox has it blocked by Horry, and a foul is called. Second foul on Robert. So Rick Fox now will shoot it up. Rick's kind of been a tweener all of these years. He was taken late in the first round by Boston 4 seasons ago, out of North Carolina.
Really had not had a lot of playing minutes. Sometimes you need on-the-job training, Bill, if you're going to be any kind of a player in this league.
Kenny Smith gives it up to Vernon. Nice pass inside. And Adrian Caldwell had the ball blocked. 76-53. Houston leads it with 1 minute left to play, third period. Xavier McDaniel. He likes to be bumped.
Yes, he does.
Physical activity. He's got a nice little turnaround jumper. He's lived off of that for years.
And he's strong enough to be able to bump you and still keep his balance to get a good shot off.
Played at New York, played at Seattle. Came here as a free agent to Boston a couple of seasons ago. 38 seconds. Adrian Caldwell puts it up from long range, too long. And the Rockets now out of the offense, out of the defense. Good pass to Raja for two. (76-57) with 18 seconds left.
So they want one shot. They got 15-14 seconds on the shot clock. They want to at least take it down underneath at least 5 seconds. Under 5, now you got to look for the shot.
Kenny Smith back out to Vernon for three, and he just beat the buzzer.
Doesn't get any better than that, does it?
That's the 8th three-pointer for Houston. That ended a 9-0 run by Boston. Vernon Maxwell now with 18 points. And here we go to the final 12 minutes. The Rockets charging towards their 5th victory in a row, leading it 79-57. Here are the third quarter stats sponsored by AutoZone. Houston 46% through 3 quarters from the field, 40% for Boston. Rebounding, Houston out rebounding the Celtics 43-35. The big edge, however, is in 3 points. 3-point plays. Houston 8 of 16 on the 3-point shot. Boston 0 for 4. Here we go. Start the final period. Herrera's in the game, and the basket by Dino Raja.
I tell you, Dino Raja has played him one whale of a ball game around that basket for the Celtics.
25 points. He's a player. And Maxwell threw it to Carl Herrera, but I don't know whether Carl thought it was intended for somebody else, but he didn't go up for the ball. And that's a turnover, Houston. Rick Fox misses. Maxwell just took it away from Raja. Good quickness by Vernon. Sam Cassell picked up by D. Brown. Fox will be on Maxwell. Montross on Olajuwon. There's Mario Elie. Good entry pass to Akeem. Oh, goes right around Montross. Gives it up to Carl Herrera from the wing, and he rimmed it out.
Can't miss those, Bill. Those are very important points when you can get a point-blank shot like that.
Inside to Fox for two. Somebody got picked off.
Yeah, what's happening now is the Rockets have got to see the ball. On the weak side, they've fallen asleep just a little bit.
And then Maxwell with the 9th three-pointer of the game for Houston.
And Vernon had come to play basketball today, Bill.
9 of 17 for Houston from behind the line. That's 21 points for Vernon and 5 three-pointers. And a 20-second timeout by Boston. Well, did you see what Joe Dumars did the other night? He tied the record with 10.
Are they going to put a little asterisk after those scoring records now when you start shooting the three-pointers?
Well, I guess they should. You've moved the three-point line in to 22 feet. But Vernon really is releasing the ball well tonight.
Well, you know, you talk about three-point shot. Now, Vernon took it 2 steps back what he's used to shooting.
Yeah.
and he's been shooting the ball well, shooting that three-pointer well.
You remember when we came into Boston last year, he had just had that accelerated heartbeat, and he was trying to rejoin the team, and he had a little workout before the game here and could not play.
There's a little zone. They got caught.
Going to call a foul on Mario Elie. 3rd foul on Mario.
Yeah, they could have called a little illegal defense also. They were sloughing a little too much on that weak side.
Daniel Up by Ellie, takes it inside. Back out to Fox. D. Brown. That's the first three-pointer of the game for Boston.
Isn't that the first field goal D. Brown's had?
No, he's had a couple, but he's got 9 points, 3 for 8. Carl Herrera on the drive. He's fouled. Good drive by Carl.
Well, the middle of that key is going to be open. Everybody is trying to guard from the baseline drive, and if you throw that ball right into the middle, now right here at the foul line, he's playing a one-on-one game, and now he goes to the basket strong, and they have to try to react, and this is where they foul. This is where the ball needs to stay. Penetrate around that baseline, then kick it back to the middle, or pick it up out around the three-point area, throw it into the foul line area, and who's ever there, then you play one-on-one.
Carl, you know, Carl hasn't been getting the breaks from the officials this year. They've been calling him quickly on a lot of touch fouls when he checks in, so he's been getting himself into foul trouble early in the season. Here's Robert Horry now in. Vernon will rest. But tonight, he was able to lay off a little bit, and he's been able to play. Well, Carl misses both free throws.
That's unusual for Carl, too. I'm telling you, that free throw shooting has become a mystery to me, why they can't be a little more consistent.
Rockets have missed how many? 6 more tonight. 9 of 15 for Houston. McDaniel was on the line, but there wasn't a referee to see it. Now he spins baseline for 2. Good hustle.
Since that air ball he shot earlier in the game, he's been playing a pretty decent game for the Celtics. For shooting it.
Always a good offensive player, the X-Man. Robert Horry will pump up a 3 and rimmed it out. Olajuwon goes and gets it. Turns back outside to Ellie. Sam Cassell will fire up a 3. That's off the mark, and it's out of bounds. Belongs to Boston. 82-66, Houston.
Well, the Rockets have got to hold on for another 5 minutes here. I'm sure that they're dog-tired right now, but mentally you've got to play mind games with yourself. You're not that tired. 5 more minutes of good, sound basketball will take this game out of reach.
Boston's on an 18-6 run at the moment. Well, Rogers short-armed it a little bit. May have been looking for Hakeem. On the shot clock. Hakeem will square up with Montrose. Herrera gets it back for the jump hook. Nope. Robert Horry goes and gets it. Throws it up because the 24-second shot clock went off. Well,
we've got to get some scoring for some other areas.
Rockets are letting them back in a little bit, and this is a problem that Houston has had all season. They had Cleveland down by 15 on a couple of occasions. Let Indiana back in the game. And offensive foul. McDaniel bumped Robert Horry off to get the shot off.
Robert did a nice job keeping his feet. Now, McDaniels thought that he was going to pump fake Robert in the air, then bump him and get the foul in the opposite direction. The call calls opposite.
That's not a good matchup for McDaniel. Robert at 6'10" can block his shot or force him to shoot it higher. So David Wesley will come in for D. Brown. Rockets have gone a while without a basket. Pressure by the Celtics. 7:48 left to play. Traveling is called on Hakeem.
Now the Rockets are going to really have to see the basketball now when they're coming. This fellow, David Wesley, will push the ball up and try to get the ball in play as quickly as he can.
Double team on Raja. McDaniel inside for the slam. Well, now Boston's on a 20-6 run. And the Celtics are trying to creep back into this game, and Rudy has to call a timeout. So the Rockets had just about a 30-point lead, and it is down now to 82-68, and the Rockets will take a timeout. Here's tonight's McDonald's Beyond the Arch replay. And Robert Horry says, hey, I know where I'm going. I'm going to get out here where it's easy to make them. Steps behind that three-point line, and that's one of the 9 three-pointers by Houston tonight. But here in the fourth quarter, Houston only 1 for 6. Boston 5 of 7. And Hakeem just threw that up. And a foul was called on David Wesley, so he'll get a couple of free throws.
You can tell when you've been in the league a while. He heard that whistle, and the first thing he did, he abandoned anything he had in his mind except getting that ball up on that backboard where they can be assured that it was a shot attempt to get 2 free throws.
20 points, 14 rebounds, and 3 blocked shots. I was talking to Hakeem tonight. And we were in Indianapolis. He went over and visited Mike Tyson in prison. Had a good visit with Mike. Mike, as you know, is converting to the Muslim religion, and invited Hakeem to come over and talk to him about it. And Hakeem said he has really studied hard. He's a peaceful person now, and he expects to get out of jail in about 6 months. There was a foul called on Mario Ellie. 4th foul on Mario. Rick Fox in heavy traffic for 2. So this young Boston team fighting very hard to stay in here, and it's 84-70 now, 14-point Houston lead. Team surveys the situation, backing in on Montrose. Tough shot, he's fouled, he'll shoot 2. It's almost impossible to stop.
Well, you know why? Of course, it's a great shot, and it's hard to do that anyway. But if you come late or if you come early, either one of those two, he's going to get rid of the ball on a pass.
Right.
So everything's got to be timed perfectly so that at least he's got to shoot over an arm. See, that has taken his game to another level offensively when he started passing that ball quickly out to teammates that were spotting up. He's got the confidence in his teammates now that he doesn't hesitate one iota to get them the ball.
You're right, Calvin. That's the one thing he's always been able to do is score. But he's made his teammates better now because of his ability to pass. And he has 24 points. Actually, it makes his shots easier, too, when he gets everybody else involved. Had that ball blocked. You got to watch Robert Horry and Ellie and those guys around. They'll get their share of blocks also. 11 on the shot clock. 5-second violation. Houston's ball. Great defense. Well, Chris Ford has that painful experience of watching this go. He has coached some great Celtics teams, and having coached through this season has got to be awfully tough on him. He spins to the middle. 2 more.
Well, now he thinks it's just time for him to take over. 5 minutes, under 6 minutes to go in the game. Now he's going to take his game to another level. Talking about the great one, as you call him, Bill.
26 points. Yeah, I know there's another great one, Wayne Gretzky, but there's no hockey right now. Mario Ellie shovels it up, and again a 20-point Houston lead. First basket of the game for Mario. David Wesley on the miss. Quickly out to Mario. Got to beat Rick Fox, and he's fouled.
Well, you got to give Roger credit for one thing. He hustled back to help defensively, and it looked like a good block to me, to tell you the truth, Bill. But here again, nobody asked my opinion.
Might have used a little body.
Just well, that's a big body now. He can't avoid not touching you a little bit.
Mario, part of that 8-man rotation Rudy likes to use, and
people are headed for the exits, Bill.
Averaging 9 points a game. He scored 15 points in 27 minutes against Cleveland, and I'll tell you what, Houston doesn't win that game without Merriam. That's 4 points in a row for Elliott. Rockets lead it by 22 points. So as much heartache as Houston has had in this building, and I'm talking about the 81 finals when they lost to Boston and the 86 finals when they lost to Boston, this has not been a fun place for Houston teams to play. But the Rockets will at least have the satisfaction of knowing they won the last game.
Last time.
Turnover, Rockets.
Well, it's what you would call garbage time.
Yep.
With 4:54 to go.
Scotty wouldn't appreciate that.
No, but that's what the point I was getting ready to make. Scotty getting in for the first time today. He wants to play well. He wants to keep the team in the structure. He doesn't want it to become a scattered game. No, I don't think he would appreciate that, would he?
Raja inside, shot it over Elijah, then he tipped it in. Vino Raja with 29 points. Carl Herrera. Oh, a reverse slam for Amigo.
We had a spectator over here sitting near us, Bill, that truly appreciated that reverse dunk.
And a touching foul on Scott Brooks.
Let's take a look at that reverse dunk that got this spectator over here wanting to get into the fast break. Now Carl just gets the ball and he's going to go baseline, and if he gets on the other side, he uses those long arms to send a message. Don't give me this shot again.
Did a little facial on McDaniel.
And everybody tried to move like they weren't involved. That's what tickles me about getting dunked on. I wasn't there. Tabak is in.
Yep. Holding foul is called on Houston. Let me ask you, Calvin, of all the great teams the Celtics have had, remember they won 8 championships in a row between 1959 and 1966 until Philly with Wilt Chamberlain broke it. But was that 86 Boston team the greatest of all time? You had that front line of Parrish, McHale.
I was on a cruise with
Bird.
Sam Jones, and I asked him that question, and he took it real personal because of the team that Sam Jones, Casey Jones, Havlicek, Russell, Bob Cousy was on that team. He felt was the greatest team of all time.
I just don't think so, because the reason I argue for the 86 team is Walton was healthy that season, and he was the 4th man coming in on that front line. So you may have had the 4 greatest big men to play together. There you see some of the retired numbers.
Could you imagine all the Celtics that argue that which one of them was the greatest?
22 players and coaches, including the owner Walter Brown, first owner here, are retired numbers up on the roof. The most numbers retired by any team. Red Auerbach, Russell, Cousy, Havlicek, Cowens, Nelson, McHale, Bird, Parrish. Go down the list.
And they're all going to be in the Hall of Fame if they're not in there already.
Well, Bird will have to wait. Parrish will have to wait. Sharman, DJ. I didn't put them down there because I didn't have enough room. But we can write some more names too if we want to. Jungle Jim.
Jungle Jim Lustatoff.
Yep.
There's a name out of the past. How am I supposed to know him now? I wasn't around during this time.
Yes, you were.
No, I was not.
95-74 Houston.
1-on-1.
Well, we've got a couple of numbers hanging from the roof of the Summit. Number 23 and number 45, old roommates. And I know of another number that'll be up there. And
What number?
I hope it's a while, though.
I was getting ready to say that. Don't put it up there yet. We're not through with the great one yet.
Talking about number 34.
Hakeem, the dream.
2:37 left to play. The Rockets will be leaving after the game on the charter and flying into New Jersey. They'll play the Nets tomorrow night. And we want to see all of you fans now in the Summit next Tuesday night against Sacramento. The Rockets will play the Sacramento Kings Tuesday night. Call 627-3101 for individual game tickets and be out there and greet us. This has been a great road trip for Houston. Very play. They're trying to let this game get over with. And Raja with 31 points.
You couldn't get a call for that last one Mario had. No one's going to get any more foul shots tonight.
And a 20-second timeout called by Rudy. He wants to get Adrian Caldwell in there. Well, the league has really sent Houston on just a brutal schedule here to start the season. I want to remind you now what I was talking about, fans, is we'll be back in the Summit. It's Tuesday night the 15th against Sacramento. Then we play the Chicago Bulls on Thursday night the 17th before going back out on the road to play Denver on the 19th. Call 627-3101 and get you some tickets to one of those two games. There's a timeout. We'll take a break and be back and finish this one up. Welcome back to Boston as we finish up the final couple of minutes here. Tim Breaux into the game now, along with Jean Tabak. Scotty Brooks. Shot clock is down to 3 seconds. Tabak puts it up from the wing. He missed it. And a loose ball foul is called on Derek Strong. Here's tonight's Taco Cabana Crunch Time stats. Houston leading by as many as 28 points in this game. And in the guard scoring, Houston's guards have outscored Boston's guards 45-9. Maxwell with 21 points, 5 3-pointers. Dino Raja leading the way for Boston with 31 points and 11 boards. Adrian Caldwell misses a free throw. The Rockets tonight are 16 of 23 from the line. Boston 5 of 11. You have to say one thing, the Rockets took care of business. They came in here and
that's right.
They were supposed to win and they did it.
Yeah, they did it in good fashion too, Bill. They just didn't squeak through with excuses of I'm tired.
It's been a tough road trip for the Rockets. They're playing more road games than anybody else in the NBA right now. It's a good move by Rick Fox, and he's fouled. He'll shoot the free throw.
Rockets foul was
The Celtics are in trouble a little bit, Bill. They have no scoring whatsoever coming off that bench.
No, they really don't. I don't think I've ever seen the franchise right before Larry Bird came on the scene, right in the latter part of the 70s. They had a couple of bad teams then, but
they weren't like this.
No. This is as bad a team as they've ever had in Boston. And a foul is called on Rick Fox. Scotty Brooks will shoot a couple. Well, it always seems to what goes around comes around, except the Celtics have always found a way. You'll remember Red Auerbach when he traded Easy Ed McCauley. Everybody said that was stupid back in the 50s, but he got Bill Russell out of that deal as a draft choice. Raja has that hand wrapped right now for precautionary purposes, but didn't hurt him tonight, 31 points. Then he got Bird the year before while he was still in school, so those were deals Boston was able to pull, but I don't know how they're going to do it now unless they can get the #1 pick. It's harder to rebuild now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's hard to rebuild. Number one, you have so many unrestricted free agents that you got to have the kind of money that they want in order to get them, and then coming out of that draft, you've got to hope that you get that ping pong ball going your way, and that's difficult.
Eric Montross, they picked him in the first round this year, and he's a project. He has 6 rebounds, 10 rebounds tonight, 6 points. But, of course, they had the tragedy with Lynn Bias, and then with Reggie Lewis. That has really set this Boston franchise back. Scotty Brooks, nice drive.
He just followed the big truck to the basket. They never even turned to see the ball coming.
28 seconds left. The Rockets now, Calvin, continue their great run in November. Since Rudy took over as the head coach of the Rockets, Houston has gone 26-4 And now the Rockets have won their 19th game in a row in November. They haven't lost since the '92 season. That's pretty remarkable. 4 seconds left to play. And Greg Minor finishes it off. There it is. Hakeem Olajuwon tonight looking on. He finished with 26 points, 14 rebounds, and 3 block shots. The Houston Rockets win their 5th game in a row, their 4th game in a row on this road trip. Houston 102, Boston 82.